Hey guys, it's me, back with another video. I'm just resuming off where I left off last video. Resume.
Alright, fine. Follow me. I'll explain. He trod a path through the aspens, his paws leaving giant prints in the snow. After a while, the space between the trees grew wider. The earth rose upward beneath our paws. We were looking for an outcrop of large black rocks. Up here, I can look out over the Bishar. I couldn't think. Alone? I asked. Usually, the rest of the Bishar may only join by command, or on the word of the king or queen. I stopped. Were the king and queen in the frozen fort? Bearclaw looked beyond me toward the pale aspens. No. He turned and climbed the outcrop. I began to follow, scrambling over wide-spaced stones. They sparkled with ice, and my claws slipped as I fought to find purchase. The wolf had already bounded to the top of the outcrop and was peering down at me. Balanced alone on the dark rocks, he looked even more majestic. His gray-tipped coat stark against the sky. Do you need help? He barked. I'm all right, I said quickly, determined to make it up the rocks on my own. At least the wolf was good enough to look away as I slid on the stones. At last, I reached the top to rest at Bearclaw's side. From here, I could see the borders of Clawfield, the frozen fort, and the golden stone where Miraclaw, Caddisclaw, and Laurelclaw had asked permission to pass. The tundra rolled out in stretches of white. Fairclaw looked toward it, allowing me to catch my breath. You are searching for your brother. I had known of the terrible Wench's loss. I was torn from this land by the furries, thrown in a cage for their amusement. I would have died there. He turned to me with blazing eyes. A brave fox saved me. Ira, know that there is nothing I wouldn't do to help you. I shifted beneath his bold gaze. Do you remember what I said in the snarl? A fox is lost to the elders beyond the fur and sinew of the greatest of Canista's cubs. It's the only clue I have. His ears twisted. What does it mean? My tail crept to my flank. I wish I knew. Why didn't I ask the elders to explain when I had the chance? You mentioned a wildland skulk, yet you came here alone. I sighed, my tail creeping to my side. They were good to me. They took me in, along with Sif and Heike. Other foxes? I dipped my head in acknowledgement. I met Sifrin in the Great Snarl. He's a messenger of the elders. I didn't trust him at first, but I was wrong. Bearclaw tilted his head to watch me. What happened to him? He's still in the wildlands, safe. I hope. There's so many taken there. Bearclaw's ears rotated. Taken? Dead-eyed foxes, slaves to the mage. An elder who broke from the others and uses his foxcraft for wicked ends. He is building an army of foxes, sapping their will, draining their ma'a. The wolf frowned. Is that the same as ma'a? What do you mean? I asked. It is the essence of all things. It is the water that runs through the raging river, the force that makes the blizzard rise, the grass grow, the rain fall. It is the light that shines from the stars. A great warrior bursts with Maha. When he or she has passed, it dissolves. It becomes part of the great whole, rejoining the earth and the air. That sounds like Ma'a, I said, though I'd never thought of where Ma'a came from, or where it went when someone died. He inclined his head. You spoke of two foxes. Cyprin, and another, a friend, Heike. My ears twitched. There was something about Fairclaw's frank, bold manner that demanded frankness in return. I thought he was, but he tricked me. He was spying on me for the mage, using me to get to the elders. My tail bristled and I gave it a shake. A shadow passed over my thoughts, and I stared at the tundra, no longer seeing it. I didn't want to talk about Heike. Fairclaw seemed to understand. He turned his attention on the view. Most of what you see now is in the Bishar of Claw. Wolves are territorial. For us, it is all about family. For what is a Bishar if not our brothers and sisters, cousins, elders, and pups? His husky voice was soothing. I relaxed and listened. Life in the frozen realms isn't easy. We are at the mercy of the wind and ice, at the will of our ancestors. We look out for one another. I craned my neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the raging river. I could just make out a blur of blue. Are there other families in the snowlands? Other Bishars? Oh yes, said Fairclaw darkly. Look to the sunrise, and you'll reach Dry Wood. There our territory ends, and the reign of the Bishar of Growl begins. It is ruled by Queen Ravenbrow. Her lands are humble, but not without benefits. The Bishar faces the sea so their pups can practice hunting with seabirds and feast on eggs every day. Our pups aren't spoiled like that. He turned his head. He now looked the other way. Fairclaw's ears pricked forward and his whiskers flexed. Beyond those low trees lies the Bishar of Fang, our old enemies. If a member of our Bishar meets one of theirs, only one will walk away alive. The hair trembled at the back of my neck. Fairclaw went on. Their territory is rich in fresh pools, and it is crossed by bison in their search for grasses. But much is inhospitable. Even a snow wolf would think twice about venturing onto the White Mountains or the ice razors in the far west. There are few trees in the Bishar Fang, few places to hide or take shelter. It makes the hunting much tougher. How can you surprise your prey when they can see you coming? I looked beyond the low trees. I could see clouds of blue spiraling into the air. What's that smoke? The land bears torn, and heat bleeds from the wounds. I blinked at him. I had never heard of anything like that. I drew my gaze over the vast horizon. The sun was high overhead, a pulsing globe of orange. I wondered what the hot, torn earth looked like up close. Have you ever been there? We do not enter their territory, and they do not cross into ours. The Bishar of Claw is the strongest in the Snowland. We respect our ancestors and the ancient laws that govern the wolves. To enter Fang without reason or provocation would be a challenge. It would almost certainly end in bloodshed. It could lead to war. A confrontation between so many snow wolves was a frightening thought. You'd beat them, wouldn't you, Fairclaw? I couldn't imagine any wolf fiercer than him. The bilberry does not speak of its own sweetness, he said, with a puzzling flex of the whiskers, and it mightn't be up to me. I thought Claw was strongest. Things changed when I was in the beast dens. King Claw fell ill. His voice stopped. Word must never reach Fang or Growl. King Fang is brutish and cruel, but beneath it, he is a coward. He would never challenge a healthy wolf, but if he ever found out about our king, our lands command the best hunting spots. Long have they watched us with envy. Under the ancient laws that govern the Bishars, A king may lay claim to enemy lands. He may demand to fight the neighboring king. If his challenge succeeds, or his rival cannot fight, the Bishar falls. Fairclaw's muzzle wrinkled. Do you know the first thing they'd do if they seized our realms? He turned to me, his eyes burning. They'd kill the pups, stamp out the bloodline. My belly flipped. He was so barbaric. But you wouldn't, would you, Fairclaw? You wouldn't do the same to them. He held my gaze a beat. I'd do what I had to. His ears pricked and he rose abruptly. See that dark mass? It's bison. I'd never heard of bison and wasn't sure what I was looking for. I spotted a large number of creatures trudging along the snow to an outcrop of bushes at the edge of brow wood. Fairclaw rose to his paws. Come, I promised you pups. Then I will call together the Bishar once more. The bison are on the move. Amarog must consult with the stars this night. I wasn't sure what this meant. Don't you make the decisions? I asked, following Fairclaw down the icy rocks. I make some decisions, said Fairclaw carefully. As I reached the base of the rocky outcrop, I caught a last glance at the Bishar Fen. The blue steam was a distant swirl. What happened between Claw and Fen to make them enemies? Fairclaw sighed. Our king killed bears when they were both young, in a skirmish over a stag carcass. They say the slain King Garethane, spirit, haunts their realms, that he has cursed the wolves of Claw. Fairclaw dipped his head. May the fallen rest in peace of the forest. Where is the King of Claw? I asked. Where's the Queen? Queen Sableclaw is with the pups. She used to be our best hunter, but she has lost interest in the Bishar. The change in the king, it hasn't been easy on her. He padded onto the soft snow, and I started after him. I knew it wasn't my business, but curiosity tugged at my whiskers. What's wrong with him? Fairclaw paused mid-step. King Claw was the greatest wolf in the Snowlands. Huge, powerful, potent in Maha. The largest wolf in all the frozen realms. Fairclaw sighed. We do not wish to speak ill of our leader. I revere and honor him. His face was troubled. Sometimes Maha fades, even in the living. A sickness takes hold. The mind becomes weak. The king was not as he once was. How did it happen? I asked, wondering what Fairclaw meant. He didn't answer me directly. I had a terrible feeling. Back at the beast dens, I knew the Bishar was in danger. But you're here now, I pointed out. If you became king, the Bishar would be safe from attack. Fairclaw turned his yellow eyes on me. The dark outlines made him look fearsome again. His voice was low, almost a snarl. You must never let anyone hear you say that. Every wolf swore an oath to King Claw. While he lives, I will not challenge him. All hail King Claw, valiant wolf, Lord Protector of the Bishar of Claw, High Commander of the Snowlands. He set his jaw, looking into the distance. The Bishar comes first, under moon and sun, for friendship, for honor, forever. Chapter 4. We padded back through Claw-Weald in silence, veering westward with the sun. I could hear the yelp of wolves up ahead, and my tail stiffened instinctively. Fairclaw glanced at me. You have no need to fear. He had ordered the wolves to treat me as a friend. Was he really so sure they would all obey him? I took in his profile and the set of his jaw. Confidence rose from his fur. He doesn't doubt it for a second. The yelps and snarls grew louder. A moment later, we reached a clearing. Two wolves were sparring in the snow as a circle of others surrounded them. The spectators were baying, alive with excitement. There must have been 8 or 9 wolves there, not quite half of the Bishar. With a crackle of unease, I was reminded of the confrontation between Sifrin and the coyote chief back in the wildlands. The wolves didn't look so different. They were like giant, magnificent coyotes. Their eyes gleamed, their jaws gaped. But this time the fight was in play. I recognized one as Gnarlclaw, the gray and white wolf who had found me with Miraclaw and Caddisclaw. The other was a warrior called Rajasclaw. He had brown fur and a creamy belly. Lazy rat, you can't catch me, snarled Gnarlclaw, squaring up to the brown wolf. His opponent sprang at him, and Gnarlclaw rolled out of the way in a froth of white snow. Too slow, ratty. He stretched out on his belly and raised a forepaw. He started gnawing at a split claw, as though entirely untroubled. Radisclaw fell back on his haunches. You'll pay for calling me that, he growled. The brown wolf noticed me and Fairclaw. He dipped his muzzle in acknowledgement, and his posture stiffened as he grew more focused. The other wolves bowed briefly before returning their attention to the fight. Fairclaw padded between them and settled down to watch. I hung a few paces back. Already, Radisclaw was charging at Gnarlclaw. The brown wolf brought the gray and white down with a thud, snapping his huge fangs around his neck. Who are you calling a rat? Gnarlclaw squeezed his eyes shut, drew himself into a tight ball, and bucked, sending the brown wolf tumbling. The wolves around him yelped in support of one side or another, their tails lashing. Kick him, Gnarlclaw! Or, watch your paw, Radisclaw! Fairclaw turned to me. Come, Isla. Reluctantly, I padded to his side. Such mock fights are an important part of keeping up our hunting skills. When the pups are a little older, they will watch the fights daily. Then they themselves will be expected to spar. His ears twisted forward. The whole Bishar will be here for the pups' first fight. It's not to be missed. I thought of Kiri. Back in the Great Snarl, we had often chased each other, though our play fights were more about who was faster and the occasional sharp nip. I watched the wolves, the power and recklessness of their clashes, the force behind their paws and their muscular forelegs, the strength in their huge jaws. I knew they could really hurt each other. Gnarlclaw pinned Radisclaw to the ground, winning the tussle. They both fell back to the whoops and barks of the watching wolves. They licked each other's muzzles and bumped shoulders with good humor. Unharmed, they turned to Fairclaw with quick bows. Then they shifted position and dipped their heads again. To my surprise, I realized they were bowing at me. A good fight, said Fairclaw with pleasure. He rose to his paws. Come, Isla, the pup den is along the stream. Send our greetings to the pups, said Gnarlclaw. Tell them we'll catch them a feast. They can have some juicy loin. As we started padding away, I heard Gnarlclaw snarl. Dog, come over here a minute. I looked over my shoulder. The white and gray flashed his teeth at a wolf I hadn't noticed before. He was snow white like Miraclaw, but unlike him, he had thin legs and a slim tail. He was smaller than the others, only reaching Gnarlclaw's shoulders. But the most striking thing about him was his ears. They flopped down at each side of his head, instead of pointing upward. Gnarlclaw was watching this strange-looking wolf. Maybe I'll fight you next time. Radisclaw padded to Gnarlclaw's side. What do you say, dog? He dragged his claws over the snow. Wouldn't you like to fight a warrior? A couple of the other wolves started growling. Fight! barked the black-snouted wolf. "Go on, dog cop, let's see you fight!" "Fight!" echoed the other. The floppy-eared wolf stooped low to the ground. "I'm afraid I wouldn't give you much sport." He threw his forepaws on the snow in a play bow. "Maybe another sort of game." He started prancing, then turned a small circle around the wolves. They yipped and whined in amusement. "What a fool!" sniffed Rattleclaw, but his tail was wagging. "There are berries in the trees," yelped the floppy-eared wolf. "Bet you can't get them before I do." "Rubbish!" barked Gnarlclaw. "Any one of us could outrun you." The floppy-eared wolf started capering about, slipping clumsily over the snow. The other wolves barked in amusement. Then he scrambled to his paws and started running toward the aspens. He was much faster than I'd expected. The wolves broke into a chase. I watched them zigzag among the trees. "Ira?" Fairclaw was standing a few paces ahead. "Aren't you coming?" I hesitated. Who was that wolf with the floppy ears? Oh. Fairclaw looked bored and was already starting again toward the stream. "That's just Lotka." Why did they call him Dog? Because of those ugly, misshapen ears. They were all chasing him. "In sport," said Fairclaw dismissively. "Don't worry about Lotka. He's nobody. The Underwolf." Underwolf? My ears swiveled as I looked back between the aspens. There was no sign of the wolves anymore. Their yips had faded on the sharp air. "What do you mean?" "He's no warrior," said Fairclaw, a hint of repulsion in his words. He picked up pace and
That was at
wandered to
4
catch up.
o'clock.
It was clear that the subject was closed. Fairclaw padded along the edge of a tall ridge
And that
and
can be.
Longer Lake.
Yes, sir.
A hard shell of frosted white hanging over the water. But further in, I saw ripples in large numbers of
Creeper.
long-necked birds.
Oh.
The place would have grown colder as the day
Oh, yeah.
progressed. Peaks of ice crept over the snow.
Okay, I'm calling. Colin's joined my game.
I asked. "Too cold for your liking?" Fairclaw's tail did a swish. "By the eve of the Mohawk, some of the snow will have melted. Flowers and fruit cover the land, at least up here. The Storm Valley remains unpredictable. We prefer the snow, though.
Creeper.
The bison are hungry."
Oh, man. Okay, so Colin, I'm recording right now.
I asked, cocking my head.
So, hello YouTube, Colin's here.
A
Hello.
special time in the Bishara flesh.
Yo, Colin, how much money do you have?
Our warrior ancestors, the heroes. The fallen.
Colin, we all
The
know it's not.
It comes at the longest day of the year.
Okay, so I'm playing an audio in the background. Oh, man.
That's the
Creeper.
thing.
Oh,
I realized
oh no. Oh,
it meant something to foxes too.
Creeper.
I knew that
Oh,
but I didn't
man.
understand why it was so important. We knew two wolves who stood guard at the edge of the
Whoa,
Warrior Briarclaw,
Colin,
Warrior Thistleclaw.
I got much money.
They
Colin,
growled
where are
intensely.
you?
As we passed the forest, my ears pricked forward.
Okay, so Colin, I know for a fact you're not at Island 26, right?
His tail gave an excited wag. No. He led me along the rock to a small valley.
Yeah, you said that you were at Island 26 earlier. And there's the maximum island is 15, Colin.
His expression serious.
What?
When you get to 16, it adds more levels.
Even if she's lost the will to live.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I must offer her respect.
Show me on your screen.
Was I expected to bow? To stand in silence while Fairclaw presented me? I didn't have time to ask. Fairclaw was already bounding toward the small trees.
Oh my god, Colin, I have so much money!
And then, I'm not even finished.
Prince Fairclaw! Prince Fairclaw! They
It goes
cried,
to 54.
converging on him. They sprang on his paws, nipping and tussling.
Show me on your screen.
With his tail. He licked their soft faces. Who's this Prince Fairclaw? They turned their dark blue eyes on him.
Zoom out, Colin. I cannot see anything.
Ira. She's a fox from the Greylands.
Da
The
fudge.
in wonder. One,
Yo, Colin.
who was gray, padded up to me boldly.
You don't want to know what something's really annoying?
Ira,
What?
Besides
do you
you.
know where you come from?
What?
I thought of the day when the sky had rained wisps and the earth had swallowed the sun beneath ice.
How hard it is to get money. I mean, like,
I looked around.
I wish that you could,
Things were stretched
like
and
scroll through the locked items and just buy them without actually having to, like, buy every single one of them.
asked another pup, releasing Fairclaw's tail.
Also, when you level up, you shouldn't have to start over, like, start your money over.
Fairclaw nodded at each pup in turn.
Queepa.
That why you're
That's Gallon, Doro, Lupin. He turned to the bold, gray-faced pup. And this year,
oh man.
Queepa.
they're too young for full type.
Oh man.
Snapped in my face.
I was gonna right back.
She doesn't look very strong.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Doro,
I got a thick blade.
agreed Lupin.
Imagine if there was a chainsaw at the end.
Fairclaw caught my eye. Foxes are strong in different ways. You need brawn to catch prey, yipped Gallon. Like me. He bumped Jasmine off her
Queepa.
paws and she bit him on the leg. Ouch! He cried. It wasn't long ago that I was playing with Peter like that, backing Snarl. I felt the fizz of Mutlock in my blood. Perhaps I had recovered from my exhaustion.
Stop!
Oh man.
I started to teeth. With skin is unclean.
Side to side.
Stop! Turn it off, please. Colin, actually.
Okay.
Because
That was my jam.
I know it is your jam, but it's very loud on the audio, and it's like loud and interfering with something that's playing in my background.
Oh man.
Echo. Oh wait. Echo. Play the song Queepa. Oh man.
Minecraft Songs by Minecraft Steve on Amazon Music.
Oh man. I don't think this is the song, Colin. I got a full-on blade. Queepa. Oh man. Yo, Colin, come to the boss. No one's been hitting the boss. Play the song, Minecraft theme song.
Minecraft Theme, Calm 1 by Video Game Players on Amazon Music.
Echo. Play the song that goes like, so we're back in the mine.
Here's Family Reunion by the OJs on Amazon Music.
Yo, Colin, what's the name of the song?
I believe it's Revenge.
Pause.
Music you like.
Play the song Revenge.
Revenge Remix by Approaching Nirvana and Tryhard Ninja on Amazon Music.
Oh man.
Creeper. Oh man.
So we back in the mine, got our pickaxe swinging from side to side, side to side.
Start over. My mom's gonna yell at me to shoot.
Creeper.
Oh man. man.
So we back in the mine, got our pickaxe swinging from side to side, side to side. This task a grueling one, hope to find some diamonds tonight, diamonds tonight. Heads up, you hear a sound, turn around and look up. Total shock fills your body. Oh no, it's you again. I can never forget those eyes. 'Cause baby, tonight, the creepers trying to steal our stuff again. 'Cause baby, tonight, you grab your big shovel and bolt again, and run until it's done, until the sun comes up in the morn. 'Cause baby, tonight, the creepers trying to steal our stuff again. 'Cause baby, tonight.
Restart. I like the beginning. Start this song over.
Creeper. Oh man. So we back in the mine.
No.
Got our pickaxe swinging from side to side, side to side. This task a grueling one. Hope to find some diamonds tonight, diamonds tonight. Heads up, you hear a sound and turn around and look up. Total shock fills your body. Oh no, it's you again. I can never forget those eyes. 'Cause baby, tonight, the creepers trying to steal all our stuff again.
Yes, the creepers are trying to steal my
'Cause
stuff.
baby, tonight, you grab your big shovel and bolt again, and run until it's done, until the sun comes up in the morn. 'Cause baby, tonight, the creepers trying to steal our stuff again. 'Cause baby, tonight. Just when you think you're safe, overhear some hissing from right behind, right behind. That's a nice life you have, shame it's gotta end at this time. Blows up, then your help bar drops and you could use a one up. Get inside, don't be tardy. So now you're stuck in there. Half the heart is left, but don't die. 'Cause baby,